You are watching KVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman. Trenton Whiting has the night off. Police are investigating after a man was found dead late Friday night outside a Victoria car wash. Officers were called to 1901 Houston Highway around 11:19 p.m. where a passerby reported seeing a body on the sidewalk near Lone Star Car Wash. The victim has been identified as a 34-year-old white male. Police say no gunshot wounds were found, but an autopsy has been ordered to determine the cause of death. The investigation is ongoing. And in Victoria today, the community came together to honor victims of violence and remember the life of Charlie Kirk. A prayer vigil was held at the Field of Honor, where guest speakers urged peace, nonviolence, and unity. Attendees joined in prayer, reflecting on recent tragedies and showing their support for the Kirk family. Organizers say the vigil was both a chance to share condolences and a moment for the community to stand together against violence.
All of these senseless killings that are going on of innocent people. And that's what this is about. This is about helping us through prayer, is to pray for their families and pray for them.
The gathering brought both tears and laughter as the community reflect on Kirk's life and stood together for peace. 6 people were injured after a car drove into a North Texas restaurant Friday night. It happened at around 6:30 p.m. at Duff's Famous Wings in South Lake. Police say 3 people suffered minor injuries while 2 others were seriously hurt. However, the injuries were non-life-threatening and everyone was taken to an area hospital. A 6th person was treated at the scene and released. Police say preliminary information indicates impairment was not a factor in the crash. An investigation is ongoing and the vehicle driver is cooperating. Now let's go to Trey Mining with the first look at our forecast. Trey, give us any update on the weather. I know that we are in fall season, so is there any cool weather coming through here this week?
Nothing at all this coming up week. We're still dealing with high temperatures in the 90s and chances of rain beginning to increase as we head toward the next few days. Outside right now, temperature is 78 degrees after a hot day today. Feel like temperature 80 degrees, so the winds near 5 miles per hour. I had a few rain showers earlier, especially in our eastern counties. They are now out of the picture now as we lost the daytime heating. Pretty quiet night anticipated tonight, but good round of rain showers and storms forming along the coast tomorrow morning, making their way inland throughout the day tomorrow, so hang on to your umbrella. Will this be the case all week coming up next week? We'll find out a little bit later on in the full forecast, Amaya.
Thank you, Trey. An armed man accused of posing as a member of law enforcement. A man was arrested Friday after entering the Arizona Stadium where Charlie Kirk's memorial service will be held Sunday. Authorities say Joshua Runkles was showing suspicious behavior and was booked for impersonating a law enforcement officer and carrying a weapon into a prohibited place. He's since been released on bond. The Secret Service is investigating. And we're learning more about the person found unresponsive on a Orlando roller coaster this week. Here are the new details and the latest on the investigation.
This morning, new details into the death of a man who was found unresponsive on a roller coaster at Universal Orlando Resort.
Open up, a man down, same location.
The medical examiner saying 32-year-old Kevin Rodriguez Zavala died of multiple blunt impact injuries Wednesday while riding the Stardust Racers roller coaster at Epic Universe theme park.
I was scared. Like, everyone was scared.
Tommy Italiano was online for the ride when he heard screaming.
There was a big piece of metal from the seat that was detached, hanging off of the coaster.
New dispatch audio released of fire rescue responding to a patient with a laceration who was unresponsive.
Orange County Fire Rescue is on scene, CPR in progress. I'm being advised it's not looking good.
The victim quickly taken to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. According to the incident report, Zavala's girlfriend telling the sheriff's office he had a pre-existing spinal injury and was taking medication. The Stardust Racers can hit speeds up to 62 miles per hour, and since its opening in May, has had 2 incidents reported to the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. A 63-year-old with pre-existing conditions who became dizzy while on the ride, and a 47-year-old also with pre-existing conditions who experienced numbness after the ride. The theme park said as a precaution, they're closing the coaster while the investigation continues. Universal, writing in a statement, "We are devastated by this event and extend our sincerest sympathies to the guests' loved ones."
A 64-year-old man has been arrested after bullets hit the lobby window of an ABC's affiliate in Sacramento Friday. Police say Annabelle Hernandez Santana was linked to a vehicle suspected in the shooting and was taken into custody in the River Park area. He faces charges including assault with a deadly weapon, shooting into an occupied building, and discharge of a firearm. No one was injured, and investigators are still looking into whether the gunfire was connected to protests over ABC's suspension of the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Attorneys for Luigi Mangione are asking the judge to dismiss a federal indictment that makes him eligible for the death penalty. According to a court filing on Saturday, Mangione attorneys argue his constitutional rights were violated following, quote, a torrent of prejudice from multiple public officials. As a result, his attorneys argue it will be impossible for Mangione to get a fair trial. The court filing pointed to statements made by Attorney General Pam Bondi, as well the walk in New York that showed him coming off of a helicopter in shackles. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all federal and state charges. In Southern California, rescuers overnight recovering the body of a toddler who had been swept away by floodwaters. ABC's Melissa Adon has more on the devastation caused by flash floods and mudslides.
This morning, a grim ending to the search for the toddler in this white sedan who was swept away by powerful floodwaters Thursday night. Officials in Barstow say they found the body of 2-year-old Xavier Padilla Aguilera. Authorities rescuing the boy's father, who had also been in the car, and after a more than 20-hour-long search, the young boy's body was found. Up to 2 inches an hour falling in and around Oakland, a neighborhood along the San Bernardino Mountains about 80 miles east of Los Angeles. The heavy rain causing mudslides. Our Los Angeles station, KABC, capturing the devastation from above.
A wall of mud came flowing down, and you could see as many as 8 homes were damaged. Some may have been destroyed. They may not be repairable.
In the community of Forest Falls, entire neighborhoods buried in mud. First responders are working to clear the roadways filled with rocks and debris, but they also have this major problem: downed power lines that are not just only blocking roadways, but leaving residents with no electricity.
It was pretty scary because I know we've had some bad floods and people have died.
Homeowner Eileen Hay telling me how she and her husband watched as the rising waters encroached their home.
We couldn't open the door because as soon as you open the door, all the water is going to come in because the water was about that high.
The rain, fueled by the remnants of Tropical Storm Mario, also flooding the southwest. Floodwaters tearing through the town of Rio Doso, New Mexico, about half an inch of rain falling on burn scar areas. As for the families living in the San Bernardino Mountains, they now face a massive cleanup effort as some roads are still impassable and neighborhoods are without power. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
At least 400 volunteers came out for Keep Victoria Beautiful annual fall sweep. The group worked across the community and along highways Saturday morning, picking up trash to help keep the city clean. Organizers say the fall sweep is one of the largest cleanup events of the year, bringing together families, students, and local organizations. Keep Victoria Beautiful says more cleanups events are planned in the coming months, and they're encouraging more residents to get involved. A Victoria resident says she is fed up with roaming dogs around her home and in her neighborhood, and she wants something done. To read this full Crossroads Today article, visit our website at crossroadstoday.com. And that will lead us to your viewer poll this evening. Should the city increase fines for owners of roaming dogs? Yes or no? And so far, this is Obviously, a win at 94% is yes, 2% is no, and 4% is unsure. I mean, some roaming dogs can be dangerous, but we would still love to hear from you. Just go over to our website at crossroadstoday.com/vote, and thank you to those who participated. For more on today's news story, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain and Parker Cox will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them. Coming up, a big change from the CDC. Why its advisors say the COVID-19 shot should now be a personal choice. Coming up.
Take a review of the day. It definitely was a hot day, 94 degrees officially at Victoria Regional Airport. Low 67, had a cool feel to the morning though, but ended up hot in the afternoon obviously. Above normal for our normal high for this time of year. Above normal for the rainfall for September and also for the year. Adding more to that total, we will be. When? We'll let you know coming up in the forecast.